Welcome back to Blackout Motorsports with the weekly challenges for February 7th, 2025. I drove a couple of fun cars this week, though I felt overpowered in most of them. But let's get started. First up was a Sunday Cup race at one of the shorter tracks at Kyoto. I use these races to tune and race cars that I don't normally care about. This time, it was the Toyota Aqua S. I was able to add a few parts and tune it to exactly 380 performance points. However, the car was pretty plain to drive, made even more boring by the CVT transmission. It made pretty much the same sound all race and there were no gears to shift. It was an easy race to finish, so on to the next one. The second race was much more my style, a Japanese four-wheel drive race at Mount Panorama. This time I chose one of my newer builds, an R34 GTR built as a Nismo R-Tune. I used a spec sheet online to get the parts as close as I could to the real car. There are a couple of online calculators to get the spring frequencies just right. I even fiddled around with the gear ratios to match the OEM transmission with the shorter final drive found in the R-Tune. I did use someone else's library though, because I'm not good at those. Anyhow, the build came out very well if I do say so myself, and it drove spectacularly to an easy win at Bathurst. Next up was an IONIQ 5 one-make race at the Ring Sprint Circuit. For this one, I used a wide-body version dressed up in Pikes Peak Aero. I even made it a pseudo hill climb race car with maximum weight reduction and racing tires. It's too bad it's an EV with fake engine sounds. And the car was so fast it annihilated the competition. Oh well, on to the next one. The fourth race was for turbo sports cars in the 700 performance point range at Sainte-Croix. I hope that's how you pronounce it. I decided to build a GT2 RS and GT3 RS close with the new Turbo S engine swap for the 992. It did not take many mods to reach this point, and it was super quick and fun to drive. The DRS function made it super fast on the straights and quick in the corners. One of my new favorite builds. Last but not least was the World Touring Car 900 at Suzuka. I chose a Group 2 car to match, the Audi RS5 Turbo DTM. With racing medium tires, adjusted downforce, and a high RPM turbo, I set out to conquer all. Keep in mind that it can rain in this race, and make sure you have at least intermediates purchased for whatever car you choose. I tried a couple of different strategies, but the one that worked for me was simple. All out for 5 laps, pit for tires and fuel, and then monitor the race for rain. The rain passed me by in mine, but if you see the clouds get dark overhead, pit as soon as you can. All in all, an easier victory than last week's F3500A race, and I always love how the RS5 sounds. If you made it this far, give it a like for the algorithm. If you found it helpful and want to see more content when it comes out, go ahead and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and happy racing.